That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to. Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement? Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically makes them followers of one of Natlan's heroes. Still, once a Fatoos, always a Fatoos. Something seems off seeing them here. Let's go check it out.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth.
Ahem! What are you guys doing here?
Following orders. If you have a problem, take it up with our employer.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work for a private employer?
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. I'm sorry for any offense. My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok and his squad. I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in Natlan is quite positive.
So that's what happened. Then you must be from Fontaine?
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service. I work in the publication business. And you two... Wait. You must be the traveler and her fairy companion.
Oh, you know us?
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. There's no mistake. Your exploits in Fontaine have all the makings of a best-selling series. I'd be a failure of a book merchant if I couldn't recognize you.
Wow! We're really famous at this point, Traveler!
It's truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two. You see, I have a favor to ask.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan? That's a little creepy.
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise you.
Well, at least he got straight to the point. Should we hear what he has to say? All right, we'll hear your request.
You know the great shaman Sittlali, right? I need her help with something.
Yeah, but the chances of her helping a random stranger just because we asked? Yeah, Sittlali really doesn't like dealing with strangers.
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could convince her, it would be the golden-haired traveler. If you manage it, I'll even double your pay.
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of that first.
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Allier, if you could.
Of course. I don't often have an eager audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Allier. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur Montluçon's team. Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Huitzilin? Yes, according to local records, she was a color mystic who lived over 200 years ago. And out of all of her exploits, her most celebrated is the Battle of Seven Colors. According to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion, one of the most brutal in Natlan's history, even from a greater historical perspective. Amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color Huitzilin created on the battlefield. The color was extraordinary, illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend has it that Huitzilin used the color to construct a magnificent maze on the battlefield and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a counterattack and ultimately secure victory.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time. That story is the reason I came to Natlan. I often publish books about the history of other nations. They always end up faring well on the market. When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next collection, but... Historical records about Natlan aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine where the battle took place, or even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of the story. Some believe it to be a myth. If that were the case, the story would not be fit for publication.
But if you're just including it in a story collection, why does it matter if it never happened?
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is Restoring the Truth of History. Naturally, I need it to be factual. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording past events, so I wanted to consult their records. But I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few ordinary woven scrolls with nothing to offer. Honestly, I'm just trying to promote their history, and they make such a fuss.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Naturally, outsiders are rarely granted access. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of information. I just need more time, and I could...
We've been over this, Allier. There's no need to waste time on those scrolls when we have a better way.
Sittlali, you mean?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Sittlali has been alive for more than 200 years. That means she lived during the era of the Battle of Seven Colors. If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical records are necessary.
Oh, that's what you want.
So, what do you say? I'll quadruple the pay if it helps sweeten the deal.
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you. Oh, right. The duty the chief gave us has a lot to do with Huitzilin. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in the right direction. All right, we'll help you convince Sитлали.
Of course.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll show up soon.
Finally got here, and now I can't even find the recipient. Where are they?
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
So, this is where the great shaman lives?
For someone like Sитлали, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down,
We're here for a reason, Alie. As agreed, you two can do the talking, and we'll wait for you here.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully she's not hungover. Sитлали? Are you there? We need your help with something! Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home. Oh, Granny Itsuli? Are you home?
Hey, kid! If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first. Traveler!
Looks like we came at a bad time.
Are you still there?
Well, at least we didn't get turned away. Huh. So this is where Sитлали lives.
I, didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Besides, in light novels, people who keep everything neat and tidy are always too boring to be the protagonist. Also, I'm not a hermit. I'm just above superficial rules of societal etiquette.
She sure does care a lot about what we think of her.
Oh, and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you, you're not still, It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of—
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? No.
Then why do I hear the traveler's thoughts?
What?
I can still hear you, you know. Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First, it was just a simple spell. I use it on you, and now it's on the fritz. Forget it. Just tell me why you're here.
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant.
So they asked the hero of Natland to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself with other people's problems.
The pay is really good.
Doesn't matter. I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. Paimon knew this wouldn't get us
From you?
Yeah! We were given a sacred duty to help your tribe.
Huh? So, you're the appointed one?
We were surprised too! After all, we have no idea, but with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some We still haven't succeeded, but we learned that the historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. She's giving us that face again.
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if...
Does that...
I need to think about it.
Then there's still hope!
Hey! What's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
You agreed to let us do the talking! Sitali!
Stand down, Grudok. As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then...
Understood.
You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance.
He's lucky he didn't force Sitlali's hand.
Well, since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you have any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your little performance?
I
have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I was about to make an important decision. Pull a trick like that again, and I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse. That's all I came out here to say.
Whoa.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Eatsley. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have a personal interest in this matter, don't you? I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. You two must have been close. If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Teyvat will learn the truth. With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just...
Well, at least she agreed to help.
Who are you calling heartless?
Not a problem. I always planned to work with the So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place? Can you think of any relics we could use to prove it?
Talk at me. Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, Allie, you had an idea about where to start, yes?
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the members of...
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all, it...
You don't seem super invested in this whole...
The Battle of Seven Colors is something I've only ever heard about.
But how?
I wasn't there when it took place, and she never told me about it.
But Molusan said the two of you were close friends.
Close friends? More like arch rivals. Something Montlusan would know if he actually did his research. Did you see the graffiti outside? All students from Huitzilin's School of Shamanism must pass an extremely difficult trial before those graffiti drawings are how they challenge me. Of course, none of them ever succeeded. So, after Wheatseline's death, her students had no choice but to modify the requirement. As my rival, Wheatseline only had one achievement that surpassed my own. It makes perfect sense that she kept it from me. I'm a fast learner. Telling me about the technique.
Oh, that...
Anyway, all of that is secondary. Like I said, don't misunderstand. This duty is important for my tribe, too. A great shaman should do her part to see it. Excuse you? I fail to see what housekeeping has to do with... Why is it that you're the one whose thoughts are exposed, but I'm still the one suffering? I need to get to the bottom of this.
Excuse me, great shaman, but we have a situation over here. We could really use your help.
Okay.
Of course the Battle of Seven Colors happened. The woven scroll proves it. Wheatseline used a mysterious color to construct a maze and trap the enemies inside.
That's just your interpretation. There's more than one way to understand that scroll. Besides, constructing a maze out of color is ridiculous.
Wheatseline was one of the most powerful shamans of her time. She definitely could have pulled it off.
That's the biggest problem. She had students. Why not pass it down? A technique that powerful? And no shaman since has ever used it?
Her students are keeping it a secret, of course. If you knew a technique like that...
Oh, I didn't mean to cause an argument. I just wanted to ask.
Of course it took place. Why would you need to prove it?
You'll have to excuse him. Some people in our tribe insist on clinging to outdated...
Please don't fight.
Wow, so the battle really is controversial.
Am I the outdated one? Kids these days can't find anything better to argue.
These arguments are precisely why I hesitate. Neither side was able to offer anything useful.
Wheatseline was a passionate teacher. We were opposites in that sense. The technique she used in the battle must have been her masterpiece. There's every reason to pass it on. Still, if the technique is powerful enough to single-handedly stop an invade, we should check with the students from her school. If we can confirm the technique exists.
But as far as I know, most of the shamans from her school
right. The obsidian altar is off-limits to you.
Is there a problem?
Most of Wheatseline's students are respected priests in the tribe. But that means they had to go through me. Those who hold the position now are the ones who lasted long enough before. If I show up without warning, they'll run for dear life.
Yeah, Paimon can see...
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. That was just a metaphor. Only you have the guts to joke like that with me, traveler. Fine, I said I'd help, so I'll help. But don't blame me if it goes wrong.
Alright, the rest of you can wait for us.
We appreciate that.
Oh, are you in the middle of a ceremony?
Granny Eatsley?
What is she doing here?
Did some coward not show up after challenging her to a fight?
Or is she here to officially take over the tribe?
Whoa, it's like they really do see her as some kind of tyrant.
No matter what, we'll defend our dignity as priests to the end.
You talk a big game for someone who lost to me the most out of the entire priesthood.
What?
All I want is to ask some questions.
So, you're here to interrogate us?
Someone didn't sit pretty for their beating? Is that it? You want their name, don't you?
We should just run!
Yeah, with the hero of Natlan here, Granny Eatstily will be on her.
Sure, whatever you say.
Oh, it's the traveler and her companion!
We wanted to ask about the technique you inherited from Huitziling.
Huh. So you can eradicate our school once.
Disciples of our school have challenged her year after year, just as our master instructed. Sounds like...
Well, you're not wrong.
If we want to protect our legacy, one of us needs to run!
Not this again. Just how much did you traumatize them, Sietlali?
Hey! You can't just say whatever you want just because it's in your head. I'm Granny Eatsley. A mere mention of my name and kids burst into tears. You know what? Forget about your duty. We really need to fix this mind-reading situation.
Sorry to disappoint, but if you're here to question whether we're qualified...
We're not getting anywhere. What should we do, Trap?
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Elder Tlapo! Oh, we must have disturbed your meditation. Our deepest apologies. Please forgive us.
Did Elder Tlapo just issue a declaration?
From what I can tell, in a single word, the message was... friend?
Is Elder Tlapo telling us to treat Granny Eatsley as a friend? That's not possible, is it?
Oh, you forget yourselves, my friends. You are esteemed priests of our tribe.
But
I didn't expect to see you here, great shaman.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to come to this crowded place. So you can save the pleasantries, Chief.
Understood. Now, as successors of Huitziling, I understand your friction with However, Elder Tlapo's declarations have always showed us the correct path, so mind your manners.
Good thing Elder Tlapo and Hi there, Elder Tlapo! Hey, he seems pretty happy to see us.
He's the one who put you in charge of the scroll, right?
Yeah, Elder Tlapo appointed us to the task.
Elder Tlapo, huh? He's still claw to me. Hey, don't pull that cutesy stuff with me. You're an Iktomi-Sor elder now. You occupy an eminent and important position within the tribe.
So, you already know each other?
Claw was only this big when we first met. He was Huitziling's Saurian companion back then. She kept dragging him to my place, so over time, we got to know each other. She only came to my place to fight me. But at the same time, she always claimed to be my friend. She was the only one who dared to try, at least.
Well, you've lived a long time.
The more time you have...
Oh,
Anyway, let's get back to business. I hate talking about the path. 200 years and you still haven't given up? I still haven't made up my mind, so you should head back. Traveler, Paimon, let's go.
Hey there, Chief Biram! Oh, wait. We haven't reached out since the last time we failed the task, huh?
I'm just grateful you haven't forgotten that duty.
Actually, we have good news. We found another clue.
I'm all in.
It's the Battle of 7 Colors.
Huitzilin's claim to fame? That sounds promising.
True, but Granny Eastily promised to help.
Is that so? Huh. I've tried seeking her help in the past, but...
Hey, don't complain. None of...
Forgive me. That wasn't my intention. It was a
Paimon said you've been trying to figure out how to weave the special
It is my duty, great shaman.
Why bother? The scrolls always end up completed on time. So what's the point of figuring it out?
If I may, this task concerns the history of memory is sacred to our tribe. I'm sure a great shaman understands that better than a humble junior like myself. I know you don't concern yourself with the daily affairs of the tribe, Granny Eastly.
I get your point. Of course, the one time I wish you could read my... No, that's not it!
Huh?
It's not important. Rest assured, Biram, with my help, the Traveler and Paimon will definitely be able to complete the task.
You have my thanks, then.
Huh. So are you here to test whether we're qualified to inherit?
You've already been tested, haven't you? Well, frankly speaking, I don't think any, but that's not why I'm here. All you need to do is be good and answer.
Fine. Ask away.
You've heard of the Battle of 7...
Of course. It's our master's claim to fame. An immortal legend in...
Then I'm sure you know there are those who question...
I did hear people arguing about that the other day.
It's disgraceful. How can they question something like that?
It doesn't surprise me. Natlan has had more tourism lately. After all, everyone who took part in the battle has returned to the ley lines.
Well, it just so happens the questions I want...
Listen, we know you are rivals, but do you really...
You think she's like you? Someone who can't survive a little scrutiny?
No, of course not.
Then let me finish. During the battle, Huitziline most likely used a technique powerful and proud enough to pass it on to her disciple.
I don't think any of us have heard of it.
Listen, I'm not trying to take it for myself, so be honest. With or without it, I can wipe the floor with any of you.
Yeah, no objections there. But I'm telling the truth. None of us have ever heard of that technique.
What's wrong with her? Why would she let it go extinct?
Master's body of work is massive. No one student could hope to learn all her techniques. Mastering just a few already takes a lot of effort. Master had no choice but to recruit many students. So even though we see ourselves as representatives of... Actually, I know of a shaman family that inherited some of Master's techniques.
But if they inherited Huitziline's secret technique...
Well, it's the only...
All right.
I'll mark it out on your map.
To be honest, I'm not optimistic about the... That's because the request came from you.
Proving the legitimacy of this battle seems more...
Nothing we can do about...
Well, even if our investigation ultimately proves the legend to be false, although I'm here for business purposes,
That's exactly why I chose to follow you, Monsieur Montluçon.
Listen, I'm just updating you on the situation, not asking for your opinion. Traveler, you came to me for help with your scroll. You thought looking into the Battle of Seven Colors could give you Instead of wasting time, you might consider taking a different approach.
Respected Traveler, let's not forget about the compensation I promised.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, based on what you've told us so far, it kinda seems like there's unresolved tension between you.
You think so?
She claimed to be your friend, but picked fights with you non-stop. And by figuring out the truth behind the battle, maybe we can finally help you get closure.
Closure? I'd say we're 200 years too late. But fine, if you want to keep investigating, be my guest.
Ah, that's wonderful news.
Alright, let's go visit the shaman family. Are you Asia Man?
Yep, that's me. Huh? Granny Eastly!
Get up! In a crowded market like this, the only person who should be trying to hide is me.
My apologies. Ever since my grandfather's generation, the shamans of my family have given up on passing your trial, Granny Eastly. Have we offended you in some other capacity?
Man, this is generational trauma at this point.
Whenever I misbehaved as a kid, Grandpa would tell me about the thrashing.
Hey, don't get any funny ideas. This was your idea, remember? Keep asking your questions. I'm going to find somewhere quiet to wait.
Okay, so your family studied under Huitziling, right?
Yes, although that pretty much ended with my grandfather's generation, unfortunately. The techniques my family learned from Huitziling didn't have much practical use in terms of tribal affairs, so turns out, shaman techniques aren't that useful outside the priesthood either. Of course, it's possible that we were just too foolish to understand the true power of those teachings. After all, Huitziling was a genius. None of her students have been
Do you know which techniques were passed?
I'm not sure. As a kid, I remember—
Just think about it for a sec. Do you remember anything about a technique that can decide
the outcome of a battle? Besides, my family wasn't really known for our talent. If a technique like that— You might have better luck asking one of the priests. They're descendants of Huitziling's most gifted students.
Well, looks like we're back where we...
Still no definitive evidence the Battle of Seven Colors took place.
All we have are non-witness accounts. We could put together an interview, but that's not going to hold up in academic circles.
Then we have to keep go—
Oh, you're investigating the Battle of Seven—
Yeah, you know about—
Not a lot, but there's something special about my family. Say what you want about my ancestors' dedication to shamanism, and of course, the Battle of Seven Colors is the most exciting—
We don't need another story, we need something concrete.
I'm not sure if this is helpful, but the story passed down in my family is a little different from the one told in the tribe.
Really?
Well, it's Huitziling's personal account of the events, so it's a lot more detailed. For example, in the version I heard, the battle took place in a location known as Chico Mostuk Cave.
That means you can tell us where to find it!
Unfortunately not.
I studied maps of Natlan before we left, Monsieur Montluçon.
Could your ancestors be
It's unlikely. My family may have let the shamanism side of things fall by the wayside, but we're serious about these stories. In the words of my grandfather, some things deserve to be passed down.
If Huitziling's version of events differs so much from the general understanding—
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Oh, hold on. You mentioned the Chico Mostuk cave?
Oh, yes? Can I—
It's been more than 200 years.
What does she mean?
That location is now known as the Valley of Fog. The Chico Mostek Cave is what it was called 200 years ago.
Precisely when Huitziling was alive. That means, Monsieur Montluçon, once we get there, the evidence we need...
Just when we thought all hope was lost.
Save it. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me.
Wait, Mr. Montluçon works in publishing. You're
really?
Out of print, huh? Sure.
Well, if we're talking collectibles, then the first edition of Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power is a must. It's the first major hit of the isekai genre. Several editions have gone to print.
I see.
There's also its sister work, Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It's opened the door to a new genre after readers grew tired of isekais. Actually, Yai Publishing House released a limited edition
Sorry, I'm not sure I caught all that.
These two titles are among the most successful and well-known works in the entire...
I'm a merchant from Fontaine, after all. Regarding this particular...
Amateur.
Of course. Sounds like a perfect arrangement.
Once we get there, it'll take a bit more work to determine the actual location. Right now, all we have is a general idea.
Well, I'm sure Miss Sitla...
Have you even looked at the time? It's already...
well... What do you think, traveler? Okay, we'll find a place to rest for the night.
He's persistent, huh?
How about noon?
Do we have to wait that?
Great shamans have important That's only because I have important tasks to complete at night.
All right, as Miss Sitlalli instructed. Let's meet back up tomorrow at noon.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, is Granny Eatsley satisfied with my answer?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't offend her somehow.
You're really that scared of her?
To be honest, Granny Eatsley almost never interacts with ordinary tribes. She's a powerful shaman who's lived for over 200 years. As a great hero, you're probably the only one who isn't intimidated by her.
Well, thanks for today, Sweetlolly.
That's quite considerate of you. All right, let's grab a few drinks. Just like last time.
Wait, didn't you say you had important plans tonight?
What did you think I meant?
Does that mean you've gone drinking every night for the past 200 years? Now Paimon's worried about your health.
No, I've had enough socializing for one day. Which will also give us a chance to solve the mind-reading issue. Considering the necessary spell work, I'd rather do it in private. No, further up.
Further up? Whoa, this is like a secret base!
Sometimes I want the fresh air. Let's see if my stash is still here. Ah, great! The halberd crest birds didn't eat my... Now for the mind reading issue. Give me your hand. It might take a little longer, actually. I just need to... And... that should do it! Right. You're not wrong. Hold on! Why do I still hear you in my head? Oh, did I not separate our senses completely? Maybe using my palm isn't enough? Close your eyes. Oh, please work, please work. A great shaman should be able to handle this. Okay, what about now? Huh? And now? Huh. Whenever I try to remove the effect... That was just to help with the spell. Ah, shoot. For a human soul, to lose the boundaries of the mind is to drown in the sea of consciousness without...
Wait, that sounds...
I read that in a light novel. When it comes to the real world, I think it's pretty accurate.
Is Sитлали drunk? She's not making much sense.
Anyway, we'll just have to leave it for now.
Hearing the traveler's thoughts isn't that bad, right? You should just tease her. That's what Paimon would do.
It's just... I'm not good at this. Sorry, I said we could be friends, but I guess I'm not ready. I'm used to being Granny Eatsley. Someone intimidating, someone people are scared to approach.
Yeah, Paimon's been wondering. Why do you insist on living so...
When you live as long as me, the color draws you in. You water it to see it bloom. It rewards you with its fragrance. But it doesn't last. With the passing of the seasons, even if the same plot of soil is covered in flowers the following year, the one you remember won't be there. That's just how it is. Most of the people in my life will be gone one day, just like a flower. Getting close means losing friend after friend for hundreds of years, until the weight of their memories crushes my soul. If people don't care about me, then I don't have to care about them. It's better if the people in my memories are nothing more than fleeting strangers.
Sитлали.
You won't live as long as me, so you don't have to worry about that. Really? Then you should understand. Nearly everyone you know will be gone one day. Traveler?
Is Sитлали all right?
Stupid mind-reading side effect won't go away.
Okay, she's definitely drunk. Sитлали!
I'm not drunk. I remember just gotta think of a
Uh-oh, not this.
I'm fine. Can get home. Bye.
Is she talking in her sleep or talking to us?
Bye. Gonna walk back alone. Need some time to think.